I'm learning so much these days. I'm learning so much, and it's just fantastic. I was just speaking to my friend Mark Prest of Portraits of Recovery, and it has been a really nice chat. And I realize that I've always been like telling him what he should do. and I realize that all our hardship, I mean, we are both recoverists, and all this hardship is necessary in order to have something to recover from. Which seems stupid because, you know, like we aim to well-being, although my priority is not well-being, my priority is evolving. And this I had understood, yeah? But it's like pursuing being okay, you know, and taking care of yourself. But I mean, lately, for example, I've been, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was saying that I was eating so healthy and eating fantastic and not smoking. I quit smoking, I quit coffee, I quit alcohol. I wasn't drinking too much, but I was drinking, you know, 1 beer in the evening, which could be felt as normal for most people, but it didn't do me good. So I quit everything and I was like feeling fantastic, feeling perfect. But that didn't last long because I'm not rigid, you know, and I'm a rebel. So when I give myself some rules, I have to forcibly rebel against these rules. And therefore, a little bit of self-destruction and then taking care of yourself, and then again self-destruction and then taking care of yourself. Because you do take care of yourself really well when you have been doing a little bit of self-destruction and you have been feeling bad about it. You have been suffering from it, you know. So that is the deconstruction of dichotomies. Like, we should be constantly, you know, going from one place to another. And that's also the deconstruction of labels and stereotypes. So putting ourselves labels of who we are, you know, of if we are good and that's bullshit, you know. We are everything. We can be everything. And the more we explore different possibilities of our identity, of course, the bad ones, perhaps with art and not really, yeah. The more we do that, the healthier we are. The more multiplicity of our identity, the healthier we are in terms of identity. And actually, Mark told me something fantastic that I want to say. Recovery is a non-linear social process. Social, because it has to do with society, or what we feel society wants from us, you know, and our rebellion, our continuous rebellion. So recovery is a non-linear social process that reconfigures identity. That's the whole point. I mean, I've been talking about this in other videos, that I'm a recoverist. Actually, it's precisely with Mark Prest that we have built this project, together with a team, of course, and with Manchester Metropolitan University, with Clive Parkinson, with Amanda Ravitz. The project Wonderland, the Art of Becoming Human. So, becoming human is exploring all those sides of our identity. And because we as recoverists, people who are recovering from something, because we recoverists are experts in recovery, like in reconfiguring our identity, reprogramming our identity, rebuilding our identity after hard times and after a stigmatizing process, we can actually show others and inspire others to do likewise after hardship. Yeah. So, and also we can educate, this is in the Recoverist manifesto, we can educate those who stigmatize us. Yeah. It's interesting because Mark just reminded me of the fact that in our first online talk on Skype, he said, "You are an artist in recovery." Yeah. And I said, back then, it was 2013 or something like that, or perhaps 2012, I said, "I'm not in recovery anymore. I've done my recovery because I recovered from heroin addiction. It's like 35, 36, 37 years ago. When I was 20, so 38 years ago, I quit heroin." And he said, no, recovery is lifelong. And actually, I have really understood this only lately, because I've been recovering from depression, I've been recovering from wanting to die, I've been recovering from so many things. And this is amazing. And so yeah, I do understand now that we do need that of course, you know, like, I mean, we assume, we as recoverists, we look at other people and we assume that people try to lead a linear life, you know, with doing things correctly, you know. Of course, a little bit self-destruction, everybody, or almost everybody does that, you know, alcohol, cigarettes, and so on. So we do need a little bit of self-destruction, because otherwise, what are we going to reconstruct then, if we don't destroy a little bit, you know, yin and yang. Another thing that I've thought about right now in this conversation with Mark is that because I've been sort of telling him off sometimes, like, because sometimes he was like telling me about his hardship and so on, and I was like giving him lessons. And today he said to me, "It's been a pleasure to talk to you because you're less angry." And I want to now talk about this thing of the anger, which, of course, I've been always like saying that anger, we have the right to be angry, and let's be angry, because anger is not bad in itself. It's also a way to change the world. I mean, how can you make a revolution if you're not angry, you know? And also, I remember Salvatore, who died of AIDS many years ago. He said to me, "Anger keeps me alive." So anger has got many different uses, yeah. Also, according to Marshall Rosenberg, nonviolent communication, anger tells us that there are needs, our authentic needs, that are not being met, yeah. But anger, he says too, that anger, the cause of anger, is not what other people do to you. It's your judgment of them. Yeah? And that is really interesting, really interesting. Because it's true. I've been judging, and I have been judged lately. And lately there was a conflict with someone, and it was a working relationship, it was a very good relationship, and now it's gone. And I've suffered a lot from that. And I had been recording many videos about this, saying, "I have been judged, I have been judged, I have been judged." But in fact, I have also judged after being judged. I've also judged afterwards, and perhaps I was judging before that. But at the same time, I do believe that all these mistakes, all these defects, are something that we can use. We can use everything. And it's just so wonderful to suddenly realize things. And it's just a discovery. And Mark was saying, well, it's acceptance, isn't it? And I said, I don't like the word acceptance because it resonates like a little bit of resignation, you know? Yeah, I accept, like more passive, you know? But it's a discovery, and you say, well, I was doing this, and now I discover. So it's a process of recovery as well, a non-linear process of recovery, you know? And I was thinking then, great, now I have learned this. And it will stay forever. You have this thing that when you discover something, you think, okay, I have evolved and now I understand this, you know, and I will understand it forever. But it's not true, because we will be going to the, you know, stepping on the same stone and falling from the same stone. So yes, and Mao Zedong said revolution is done 2 steps ahead, forward, and 1 step backwards. So it's like we're going to fall back again in that same spot, you know. But yes, recovery is lifelong, and it's just so beautiful. For me, right now, it's like I've got rid of anger. And I was telling Mark as well that I go to the park every morning and every evening with the dogs. And nowadays, now it's summer, so in the middle of the day, there's a lot of people. And I go always when there's no people. Mainly because my dogs are not easy, because they are wild. I haven't really educated them to be very obedient. They're wild, and therefore, you know, there's trouble, you know, if we find other dogs and so on. So it's more comfortable to go when there's not enough people. But also I prefer to go into the nature when there's nobody, yeah? And when I see people from the outside, I hate them. I see, oh, there's people, you know, I wish they would go away, you know? But then, perhaps somebody approached and hey, hello, and asked a few questions and so on, and then suddenly, my perception of that person is completely different, you know, and I see this person as friendly, and I'm happy to have talked to someone, you know. So how wonderful to go from this to there, and not be always permanently thinking people are wonderful and always open to people and so on, but being, you know, so these situations that allow us to recover constantly from something, you know. Wow, thank you, Mark, so inspiring. I will send you the video too. Funny thing that has happened. I just had a Zoom with an old friend whom I haven't seen for many, many years. And this friend was so angry and saying about all the stupid people, and these people are stupid, and you know, it was so, this anger and this, and I was saying, well, I have another point of view, and he said, that's wrong. And I said, well, this is authoritarian. And I was saying, well, what do you mean, that you're always right, and you're always right? And he said, well, remember that when I said something, you once said that I was right, or something like that. And I was horrified, but at the same time, thinking about this, I have seen myself, perhaps I haven't really been so vehement, so eager and so loud and so, but he sounded like Donald Trump. And I saw myself as well. I mean, in a more exaggerated way, but But I have been like thinking these people and judging everyone or judging people, and thinking that I was right and they were wrong, you know. So it's just so wonderful when we realize, when we can mirror ourselves in something that we reject, in someone who, and I have seen what it feels like to receive this expression of anger. I think that in the last 2 weeks, I have learned more about anger and about my own anger. And it's just amazing. It's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. And I'm so thankful. Also to him. Although I told him, listen, I just can't bear this anymore. Bye-bye, I have other things to do. And I put down the phone, the Zoom. But in fact, then I was thinking, thank you for this, for allowing me to mirror myself, you know, and seeing how horrible it is, this wanting to convince someone of something and saying you're wrong and I'm right, you know. But as I said before in this previous video, that I'm going to put these 2 videos together, as I said before, recovery is lifelong. And although, you know, I think, oh, I've finally understood this, I'm probably going to go back again into my anger. But I hope I will be remembering this old friend of mine talking like that, talking like Donald Trump. And yeah, you know, that's why I do believe that there has to be a bit of everything. And Donald Trump, as horrible as he is there for us to mirror ourselves and see how horrible we can be. And recovery is lifelong. That means that if we are free, we're going to continue experimenting this and this and this, and then seeing what's wrong, and then realizing, you know, but then going back to experimenting other things, following our feelings and our needs, but then perhaps not being aware of what you're doing and the effect that you cause on other people. So perhaps this YouTube channel is going to become less angry. We don't know, because anger can also be useful to change things, but, and of course, I mean, where does my anger come from, you know, and will I be able to, not able, we're all able of everything if we really want to, but will I be aware and try to see, you know, to elaborate my anger first. I mean, perhaps I'm going to record videos elaborating my anger, you know, as long as people don't see only that video, yeah. Anyway, yeah, great. Everything is perfect.